Welcome to the Studio Lighting course. Here, you will learn 20 basic lighting setups that will take your photography to the next level. You will master working with flash, continuous, and mixed light. We will start with the basics of camera setup for the perfect studio shoot, and then dive into various lighting techniques that you can apply in practice. I shoot with a Nikon D850 and use various lenses. Camera settings. Mode M, manual mode. Always set your camera to manual mode. ISO. When working with flash, keep the ISO at a minimum to reduce noise. Shutter speed 1:125, 1:200. Aperture f5, f6. White balance 5400K, 5600K. Flash settings. Start with a power of 7 out of 10 and experiment, increasing or decreasing the power to find the optimal exposure for your photos. Hard light modifiers, reflector and beauty dish. These create sharp, hard light without excessive spill. The light, reflected from the inner walls of the reflector or beauty dish, is directed straight onto the model, highlighting all the details and creating dramatic shadows. Reflected light modifier, reflective umbrella. The light first hits the umbrella and then gently reflects onto the model, ideal for creating softer and more even lighting. Soft light modifiers, octabox. Its round shape mimics natural lighting, similar to soft sunlight. Strip box. An elongated rectangle, perfect for highlighting long and narrow details or creating special effects in the background. Softbox, the most versatile tool, available in various sizes and shapes, from square to rectangular. They come with 1 or 2 layers of diffusers, which allow you to create incredibly soft light that wraps around the subject. Each of these modifiers is unique and can transform your studio photography, adding professionalism and depth to your images. Today we will explore the world of classic light, which is suitable for everyone, regardless of appearance or physical characteristics. This type of lighting not only illuminates but also creates a beauty portrait, highlighting the virtues and concealing imperfections. For this setup, we will need only one flash. I use the Profoto D1. Take a softbox and place it symmetrically in front of the model, about 3 steps away, so that the center of the softbox is directed straight at the model's face. Then, add 2 black flags on the sides, creating a tunnel through which the light is directed straight at the model, while the sides are completely absorbed, creating volume and drama. The softbox power is set to 9 out of 10, which provides the proper lighting. The camera settings are as follows: shutter speed 1:200, aperture f5, and ISO between 100 and 200. We take a test shot. Notice how evenly the front is lit and how all the highlights are clearly defined. With this light setup, we get an excellent result that works for everyone. If you want the image to be a bit darker, just slightly close the aperture. This setup is especially good for shooting non-professional models. Let's immerse ourselves in the atmosphere of an old 19th century artist's workshop, where light played a key role in creating masterpieces. Today, we will recreate such light, soft and gliding, the kind that once helped painters highlight beauty and volume in their canvases. For this magic, we'll need only one softbox. Place it 2 steps away from the model, 2 steps forward, and 2 steps to the left or right, whichever you prefer. This angle will create the perfect lighting, where the light softly glides at a 45-degree angle, not directly hitting the model but gently touching it, giving the image incredible depth and volume. Camera settings. Standard shutter speed 1:125, aperture set to f5, ISO set to a minimum value of 100, 200, softbox power at 8 out of 10. Remember, the key to success here is in the gliding light. The center of the softbox should shine past the model, creating an indirect, enveloping light. This is not a mistake, it's the essence of your artistic intent. This lighting setup is versatile. The picturesque 45-degree angle will not only enhance any model, but also help you correctly balance light and shadow, making your photograph truly dimensional and expressive. Introducing the classic setup for shooting magazine covers, where every shot is a potential masterpiece. The main task here is to create the illusion of a single light source using two different light fixtures. How do we do this? We direct a very hard and focused beam of light onto the model's face using a honeycomb reflector, which helps narrow and refine the direction of the light. This method maximizes the highlighting of details and creates deep shadows. The second light source is an octabox, which we use to create soft enveloping fill light around the perimeter of the model. We set the octabox to a power of 8 out of 10 and align it precisely in the center, symmetrically relative to the model. This allows us to add light accents and soften the harsh shadows from the first light source. The honeycomb reflector is also set to a power of 8 out of 10 and positioned in the center, about 3 steps away from the model. The angle of inclination is around 45 degrees, creating optimal portrait lighting. Let's check the setup. The light sources should be raised so that the light falls on the model's face at a 45-degree angle, forming a perfectly symmetrical highlight. The reflector should be positioned directly in the center of the octabox, creating a unified light flow. Camera settings for a test shot: shutter speed 1:125, aperture f6, ISO 100/200. Let's take a test shot and see the result. If the result appears too bright, don't hesitate to close the aperture for a more balanced image. This setup is perfect for glossy portraits for covers. Now let me show you an angelic lighting setup that visually slims thanks to the magic of backlighting. This method, like a magical cloak, envelops the model, making the image soft and weightless. The lighting arsenal: 2 soft boxes. We will place them strategically behind the model, right by the background, about 3 steps away from it, and direct them slightly toward the center. Settings: flash power set to 9 out of 10, and we're ready for the first test shot. Set the camera to a shutter speed of 1:125 and an aperture of f5. Don't be surprised if the space around the model seems slightly overexposed. That's part of the plan. We're not aiming for a sharp distinction between light and shadow on the skin. We want to capture how the light gently wraps around every contour of the model. This setup is especially popular among many fashion photographers, as it creates an expressive artistic silhouette of the model, highlighting her unique features. Today, we will break down a true monster of commercial shooting, a setup that will become your best friend when creating catalogs and lookbooks. As in our previous lesson, we'll use 2 light sources, but this time with reflectors. We move them forward and place them on either side of the model, about 1 step away, directing them slightly upward at a 45-degree angle so that they reflect off the ceiling. Yes, the ceiling should be light-colored, so the light flows beautifully from above, creating a sculpting effect. Set the power of the side flashes to 7 out of 10. The camera is set to an aperture of f6.4 and a shutter speed of 1:125. This setup is perfect for shooting clothing, creating a dynamic and fresh effect. Now let's move on to our third magical setup, the perfect choice for model tests. This is exactly what you need if you want to capture every detail. We start with the modeling light. Place a flash with the reflector directed at the ceiling at a 45-degree angle, set to a power of 9 out of 10. This light will reflect off the corner of the cyclorama and softly fall behind our model. This will create a gentle highlight from behind, adding depth and volume to the image. And diagonally from the first light source, place another reflector with a dish, also directed at the ceiling and set to the same power. This second light accent will add softness to the image, while still maintaining a fresh and sporty look for our model. This composition is perfect for model tests or snaps. Camera settings for this setup: shutter speed 1:125 and aperture set to f7. This will ensure enough depth of field so that every detail of your model is sharp and expressive. So, if you need to do model tests, this setup will be your indispensable assistant. Hard light is the true artist among light sources, a favorite of fashion photographers and those who aren't afraid to show character. Don't be intimidated if you're a beginner. Mastery comes with experience, and the results are worth it. How to create hard light? It all starts with choosing the right tool. Forget about large, soft softboxes. Your choice is a small reflector. It will focus and direct the light so that it becomes sharp and defined. The further the light is from the model, the darker and sharper the shadows will be. Use this to create bold and expressive images. A simple setup in practice: position the light source so that it points directly at the model's face. The model should stand close enough to the background so that her shadow falls on it. This creates depth and drama in the shot. Camera settings: a shutter speed of 1:125, aperture around f6, and ISO 100/200 will help maintain image quality without excessive noise. Experiment with this setup, play with light and shadow, and soon you'll discover that hard light is not only a challenge, but also an incredibly powerful tool for a photographer. Let's move on to the next exciting setup, using a flag to create hard shadows. This method is perfect for those who want to add a natural sense of depth and volume to their shots with clearly defined shadows. Place the flag to the side of the model and set the flash about 2 meters away from the flag. It's important to start by having the light cover only half of the side. This will create a play of light and shadow, adding dynamic and dramatic elements to the scene. By moving the flash and flag around, you can find the best position to achieve the right balance of light and shadow. Remember the golden rule: the further the light is from the flag, the harder and sharper the shadows will be. Aim for maximum shadow hardness, as this adds naturalness to your shots and enhances the texture. Be careful not to position the flash too close to the flag. If the flash is too close, the shadows may soften or disappear entirely because the light will be too diffused. This could result in losing the desired hard effect. Take a test shot and see how well the shadows are defined. If they seem too light, try closing the aperture to increase the contrast and drama. Experiment with distances and angles, and you can create a dramatic mood with an additional flag forming a clear line of light. The model should align perfectly with this line, otherwise they may end up in shadow. This approach is ideal for creating portraits with deep, expressive shadows that highlight contours and shapes in your photography.